Alright, so this is the 10 minutes speaking. Let's start it. Our brain constantly changes. Every second is changing, every spirit is changing. If I pull your brain out of your head, if I do some brain surgery on your brain now when I want, and I hold your brain in my hand, it's not going to do anything. You can load it all day long. You did nothing, your body will function. No genome, no genetic innovation. Nothing will happen, no changes will switch on. But the fact that you are alive and have done that. The only reason your brain and genes are doing anything is because you are thinking, feeling, choosing. If front up is the steady switch on, our thinking, feeling, choosing, which switch genes on, we all now are thinking, feeling, choosing. That's the mind that our eyes affected that the parts that we are not have not done enough research on. I've been 20 years myself researching. We've got to focus on that because otherwise I can use my brain as an excuse for everything, which is the day of age we live in. You can make that aggressive boy, but I still already go to say that I, yeah, well, that's not why. Those are effects. I can be raised in the same household, experience the same challenge, the same divorce, the same partners in between. Everything could be identical to the same experience. About 20 years old, I can still view the world in a different way than you, learn from birth. From birth, totally different. That is why we see studies of identical twins where you have one is in own age and one gets analyzed and one is still farming up and still going on along. You know how you receive things makes your body work for you against you. Till mind is moving through your brain. Your brain builds that is perception possibly into your brain. You're thinking, feeling, choosing moment to moment of every day. And if you have a scenario where I'm constantly cheating a negative of, so if I have now more than 63 days constantly talk in a certain way, I have built a very strong tree in my brain. A tree is thought or thoughts are real things. They look like trees. They occupy mental real estate and made of proteins agree. They are 100%. There are already right now you are growing at the speed of 400 billion oxygen you do converting my word into your listeners in the brain. But now if you got a habit you have done something for years, you thought in a way for years because of experience, because of environment. So there's a nurture you born with this far from beside we nurture environment and all stuff is right. And there's an I factor. The two things go through life, same thing about how they think it. So each experience is now adding one more layers to my internal core. So here I'm born but here I'm receiving and may perceive the two things. One perceives relationship between one perceives the situation is why different networks build a brain. And as you keep thinking in that certain way, so strengthen, what if you think about it most grows into toxic? That's the pattern I fully see that. You can train a person very easily to stand back, absorb all thinking because on another side now he decide this quantum physics called that. You can stand back and solve your own thinking and you can show someone can you see you being negative, can you see that it is and you can keep sort of by showing people there's always a way for someone to see if they want to choose to do that. If someone has done something and everything for more than 63 days, they have wired a pattern into the brain, like pathways looks like a toxic suit. That's why I use this. This reports into all computers, and those computers have been very established. It takes 1 days to build a long-term memory. It takes 63 days minimum to build a life between 21 days, and we took home 63. Anything after that, we're going to do expert level. So if I have for 6 years being worthy, I want sports warrior. It doesn't mean who I am, maybe who will come. So I can unbecome. It's hard work. I won't have to do a lot. My work has to do a lot. My oh my god, advertisement again. My management to use emotional signals, like depression and anxiety. They can use that to find out what is the cause of why I'm so negative. Now, even a long-term memory can be reconceptualized, and that means I'll always remember. So, it is for example, from one sees the glass of half empty, and it just mean that and it's not like these people just always going to see the negative first. Every business winning, they just always see the negative. But a person can change that they very well be to become an expert in being negative. They can actually unwind that they can get to the point where it's not work, go to the pain, doing it. People don't want to stay in age, but you can change that and reverse that process. What's the 5 steps? So the 5 steps set of all is gather. That's a big word for embrace, acknowledge. Embrace that you haven't gotta accept these so the first one is gotta reflect the deep reflection. It's process is the most painful part is searching with saying a friend or shop daughter friends. Let's say that we want to look at the patient to heal them, so you got to go to the pain before we hurt you to heal the wound. That's a very this whole process is of hard. I'm not lying, but it's good and it takes time. It will take 21 days. So the second process is deep reflection, when you are basically trying to track back to, I'm not necessarily back, but why am I doing this? You're studying your change, you're looking at your change, your patterns. So the first thing is to take, okay, let's see, I'm depressed, this is an emotional warning signal. You've got two physical warning signals. So you're embracing the emotional and physical warning signals from environment and from yourself. You've been thinking about this, okay, so why am I always negative? Why am I always depressed? Why am I anxious? As you go through the process, reflection, you get to the point where you're not quite justified now. Get to it, if a day is little, but to the point where you feel okay, maybe this will be a few 1 days. You see, oh, I'm anxious because I'm actually trying to be a perfectionist. I'm trying to control everything in my environment, and it's not quite working out. Maybe it's not because there's too much that you've dealt with. The third thing is we've got to reach the process. So what we got to do is to take our plan to stuff right. The third process, right, you bring out a lot of and when I say right, it's like literally turn on a page, because you see my sequence that we have video of literally spend a minute and have to choose minute doing each of these. So rather for minutes and a half, you would reflect your minutes and a half. You would write for minutes and a half, and then you would recheck. Now recheck is the process of where you go to back and look for patterns and triggers your what does it mean. So if you think of become aware of something going on, I am reflecting why am I feeling starting to get to the root. It's only a minute and a half must move. Write it down, maybe a bunch of jumbo you write down. Recheck the looks like your jumbo and try to get some level of order. Then you go to you can get to get the level of audience. Okay, that's my little tiny task for today. And it might be simple as when I feel this anxiety coming on, I'm gonna come back to my last, and then when I only worry about it. Tonight is a 6 o'clock, but in a minute I have the only little bit of information you get the budget point. You must only do it every day. Not everything every day we can solve it all, know what we do today. It's the little things change over time. We try and fix it, quick get it there. It's a process you have to dig it out of your non-consciousness. It's a deep investigate detective process that you're doing. So it's like now that you start seeing, okay, I'm writing because this is quite negative. I'm starting to get a glimpse of. Maybe it could be this might be so what can I do today? As a little active bridge. Not a bridge is then if I see that even what the worrying thing, I just wake up and worrying. I just realize that I am stuck in anything, so I'm just okay. I'm aware that I'm worrying. All I've got to do today is take one. I've just pulled out and I just really never stop worrying. So cool, what's my active bridge? As I read as I that hits me in the face, what did I say like this, worry, I can't deal with it now. I'm gonna deal with it tonight. So now it's 6 o'clock in the morning, deal with this all tonight. As you go to the play, it's that but also what happens take energy away from worry. Every thought you build is a real living thing. It has energy, it's foreign energy. So if I take this worry toxic, and I say, okay, keep quiet to you and your boss and not going to do with you, you listen, you say nothing about it. I'm gonna tell this out tonight, come to our leaders, that's things lost energy. Back in the 80s, I was trained. That's a brain couldn't change. I changed that in the people that had genital brain injury, like major. It had been written off by neuroscientists and neurosurgeons, and to deliberate an internal building of brain, learning, growing brain, studying daily, going back to university, ended up finishing school, getting high grades, and years ago, which it could have been written off. It's possible. I think that happened way too often. Not me and there's many scientists who have seen shown that when you use your mind, your brain will change. When you use your mind, your brain will change. Right, so that's the end of this video for today. See you in the 30 minutes video and the French speaking video. Bye.